Gold Mine. Geita Gold Mines is among group companies of Anglo Gold Ashanti, which operates in 4 continents in the world. There is 6 operating mines in Africa and 2 operating mines in Australia. There is also mine operated in Latin America, and exploration activities underway in Nevada, US. So it's a large group of gold productions. At Geita, we employ 7,000 employees, and we have plus 40,000 employees across Anglo Gold Ashanti. Our key driver for Geita and Anglo Gold success is built on the values. Our safety is our first values, and there's a number of values below, but we put safety first before anything. And that's why I open up with my videos, knowing people after lunch and this time of the day, they will lose focus and attention. So in 2000, Steve actually was a mine manager, was a manager safety at Geita. At that period, we had a number of fatalities. And also we had a number of lost time injuries. And we had a large number of medical treatment as well as first aid related cases. After 10 years, we had to review the whole process. As I highlighted first that we operate in 4 continents. We had a large number of mines in South Africa, which they were all sold, about 10 mines, underground, deep level, 4 or 5 kilometers deep, the earth, and they were operating, but now they are out of the scope as I mentioned. The group annual production is plus 3 million ounces. There was a lot of issue in safety. So 2002, the entire group, we recorded 44 loss of life. So 44, if we count this wing, you'll get a clear to understand what I mean by 44 loss of life of people. So there was a serious interventions. We call it a safety blueprint, which was driven by a change model, and it was more clearly driven by dissatisfactions from the performance. The decision was made that we can't continue killing people. We have to come with the model. So you could see 2000, our frequency rate per million man hours was up to 3. The 3 you see there, if I put number on it, there's 4 loss of life, there's about 6 lost time, there's about 15 medical treatment. So there was so many. Injury, loss of life for one is many. So the safety blueprint actually come out with 3 key sustainable projects which we are happy to bring forward as a success story for the mine. And this was built on a hazard and risk management protocol, as well as incident management and safety leadership practice. So these 3 drivers are the key pillars for the Geita and Anglo Gold Ashanti successes. We are talking now about safety. So from risk management, we come out with 4 layers of risk assessment, where level 1 is for all employees, and this is linked to hazard identifications process. Level 2, this is more targeting to supervisors from workplace job safety analysis or job hazard analysis. And level 3 now is for managers in terms of scoping the risk assessment. Managers, they are the ones scoping work, they are one planning the work, so they should scope the risk assessment where now the team will execute the risk assessment. And level 4, this is for executives, the managing directors, vice presidents at that level, those people who are on the strategic positions of the organizations. They are also to do 5 hours risk assessment training. So level 1 is plus 80 hours training. Level 2 is 2 days training. There's a theory as well as practical. And once you come out from level 2, you'll be able to develop and do a proper risk assessment. So safety leadership practice also was another driver. And incident management also was another key success. So from incident investigations, the team first, from the safety blueprint initiatives, they realized that we had so many investigation tools and so many investigation templates. One site used to have 88 incident investigation. We recorded 88 lost time injuries, and when we pull all those lost time injuries on one site, they were all done in a different incident investigations methodologies. And they all came out with a simple root causes or simple identification and more blaming the involved peoples. And look, the workplace drivers, the organizational factors, and was useless type of the investigations. So the safety blueprint came forward by focused strategic areas, which was more focusing on well-being of people free of harm in the workplace, with the vision of come 2030 that there will be no workplace injury at the gate as well as any other Anglo-God Ashanti. So to achieve these drivers, it was more now the work or the people to drive the leadership team to drive the change, to ensure that the required outcomes is achieved. So leaders drive and enable organization to achieve the goals. People, employees are committed to and actively working to ensure workplaces are free from injury, improving work process, risk management, application of technology and innovations. We have heard here a lot. So the video actually spoke about the major hazard. Before these initiatives, we classified 18 major hazards. So the review process actually, in order to simplify and to make it more work, so those were more challenging. We had these major hazard standards, but they were not delivering or giving out the expected outcome. So they were reduced in number, and currently we are sitting with 10 occupation safety major hazards, supported with 2 occupation health related major hazards, which is noise and airborne pollutants, which are key driver. And from airborne pollutants, we still have some initiatives to come out with some solution. People who visited the mine, they will understand when I talk about airborne pollutant. We are hauling ore from satellite operations, and these haul trucks, big trucks you have seen driving, they go past, whether you apply water, whether you apply molasses on the roads, but it's still, there's a lot of dust generated, and it's affecting the employees as well the community surrounding our operations. So the picture we see is more commitment in terms of rolling out this campaign with our managing directors coming, opening these sessions, engaging, doing discussion with the people to ensure that they get to understand exactly what you mean. The initiative, this is also driven and supported by visible felt leadership, getting our leaderships out and see exactly what is happening, going out and do this CCV. In terms of implementation, what we picked also as challenges, as we continue doing it, there are some people, they were more doing it to get the target achieved. So they were sitting either in the office or sitting somewhere and doing a lot of CCV. So it was impacting the quality. So in order to ensure that is not done, then we had to come up with some different interventions. So from January to April, our CCV target number were low. And when we keep and push to get the quality CCV done in May, there was no single injury or incident happening between May and June. So this can tell you that if you do correct and quality CCV, you will have the expected results, which is expected. So the journey for zero harm have number of unexpected impact. Every employee have a right for a safe workplace and to return home safely every day. And employer have moral obligations to implement safe work systems to achieve this. And if you fail to achieve this, then there's the direct cost, which is obvious, but also there is indirect cost. But the loss of life, the suffering from our employee from these injuries is something which is not tolerable. We heard this morning, there's a key drivers to reduce this number. Having 2 million people loss of life is not really interesting thing. So we had a range of challenges. I'm going quick. I know time is out of our hand, but for the sake of the forums, we'll have opportunity to have these slides. We can have spare time and go through it. But challenge in terms of OHS, training is also a gap. Language barrier is also another issue. There is leadership where the focus is on production and then compromise safety. So that creates a conflict in between, which need to be managed. So if at the level of organizations, they don't have that clear in mind, then obviously they will not achieve. At GGM, I mentioned that there is 7,000 employees at work, but the mine employee, there are 2,000, but the rest is contractor. So we have more contractors. Managing contractor is also another challenge, which also need to be managed well. If you don't manage well, drug and alcohol is also another challenge from our experience on the mine, which lead to these incidents. Moral weakness, tolerated unsafe acts. I know critically we Tanzanians, we have habit of not being able to tell one another the truth. You see something is doing something not right, but you can go around and start speaking and not confront him and address the matter. Inadequate health and wellness programs is also another area. Safety culture is a driver. A very simple example, all the mine setups, they are at international standards. So employees who are coming from home, when they are entering the mine, they have to comply with everything. When they leave the gate, they'll get into border, 2, 3 of them, no helmet, nothing. So what type of culture you are incentivized under such? You go home, you go to the public service buses, no seat belts. You come to mine, no seat belt at our mine, not wearing seatbelt, there's a fine of 300,000 shilling with a final written warning. But as you go to the public, most of the daladala, no seat belts. So what culture is it instituted? Poor workplace housekeeping is another concern. The safer workplace, we apply 5 ways. This is a Japanese notion. You can go, you can search what is 5 ways stand for. It has proved to be a very successful tool to handle and manage housekeeping. We have implemented at Geita and is providing the required results. I know Steve visited last year and he was able to go around the workshops. They are up to standards we expect to see. So our recommendations should always be proper implementation of hazard identifications is a key for successful occupational health and safety at any organization. Whether it's at artisanal mining, informal sectors, develop a culture of hazard identifications, you win the safety big time. And you start personalizing safety because hazard identification as a tool, you assess issue from individual point of view and you move to the next aspect. There's a number of systems globally, from NOSA 5-star to other certification which the mine is, to ISO 418 before 45, quality. They are all systems to ensure that the sustainability of the OHS is achieved. Training from NEBOSH, from IOSH, from NOSH 1, 2, they are also effective tool to equip or to build capacity for the team to achieve and deliver the expected leadership required. So in terms of safety leadership, this is a model which have already been improved and applied to other world-class mining operators like BHP, Rio Tinto, Toyota. They have applied it and it's really very effective. Because at the end of the day, safety leadership contributing to incidents, most of the incidents, no supervisions present, inadequate task assignment, procedure in place but we are not followed, insufficient employee engagement. So safety leadership practice also is a very effective and is recommended across the board. At any industries is one of the powerful. We have quoted some of the Thomas Krause, whereby he highlighted the companies that are successful in safety were also successful in operational performance. The previous panelists and early in the morning, they were talking conflict between production and safety. So it's been proved by a number of research that you do right in safety, automatically your production will come right. So as a leadership, as an accountable person to lead, if you have that in mind and you ensure that yourself and everybody, heart and mind of every worker is touched to safety, then automatically you will win big time. Other workplace free of injury and harm is achievable. There's still some people don't believe it. Because my last slide, it tells you, from the first slide we saw of having 3 frequency rate per million man hours, what we have achieved for a number of years in between with implementation of all of these success story for Geita. Other tools in support, this is the investigation model, can also be used as risk assessment tools. So fatalities, basically, these are high consequence events with the lower frequency event. Contractor management have highlighted this bullet point there. What we have done to manage our contractors, having a proper standard to manage, which articulates contract owner, contract managers, contract representatives, defining roles, review the scopes, etc., etc. Continuous improvement in terms of fit for work. Recognition in incentives is another very effective tools. It was highlighted by ECOP as well. If it implemented well, fairly, it gives you the required expected results. You need to recognize those who are doing good things so that they are stood out outstanding and you motivate them to continue doing. Mental well-being is also another area. Zero harm nomination and award. Actually, there is one clip at the end to be of interest, a minute to check. We had the injury in the past and we had to re-engineer the process. And after testing it, before this re-engineering process actually, there was not at Gator per se, but on the other mine, people lost their fingers due to get caught on the rotating part. So that systems really helped to improve. Another process or technology application is Scorpion crawler. This is available in the market. In the past, in order to do inspection on this tank, you need to erect the scaffold all over and then allow people to work. But using the Scorpion roller, then the systems is attached, is going up and down, taking up the scanning and producing you the results. So in terms of achievements, Gator actually was announced global safety winner for 4 consecutive years. There's no any other Anglo-Gold Ashanti mine which have won global safety award for 4 years consecutively, from 2019 to 2022. We have also worked for 6 years and recording only single lost time. We have been recognized by OSHA for continuous number of years for good work performed. In terms of exhibition, as we community outreach, we go out on these OSHA days, training people, creating awareness as they are moving around the country. We have been able to retain our ISO 45 standards. This is some of the achievement. Behavior change is another area of engaging workforces to ensure that they do the right things. We use, this is Dr. Eli, I think majority of people might have met him. We also engage with the communities. Fatigue management, we're running out of time, so basically, this is our performance to date. As we speak, it's now ending the 2nd month of the year. There's no single injury we have recorded. Last year, we could see the bar, and you can see yourself from the past. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Tupige makofi mengi mengi tena kwa ndugu Isaac. So we will also take 2 questions for Brother Isaac. One will be coming from Nation. Any other question? Okay, so from the high table as well. Let's start from the high table and then we'll go to Brother Nation. Karib.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Ezra Kavana. I'm working with ECOP. Thank you for your wonderful presentation. What I want to understand clearly is when you touch base on the aspect of innovation and at the same time on the issue of technology. What I understand, normally to improve on safety, as in extractive industry, whether it's oil and gas or mining, automatically we need to learn from the previous events or accident or incident. So you mentioned that previous, you had a number of fatalities, like 40 and 44. You managed to reduce and now you are progressing well. So my question now, how you manage to cope with the automation as we are progressing with the industry, because you said you have underground operations, and I understand sometimes it's very challenging, and one of the major risks is more on the interaction between machines and human. So that is one of the major risks. And now there is a lot of automation. Now we are using robots. We observe a lot of technology. So how you ensure sustainability to ensure we have good rates, I can say, and we manage those kind of risks. So that's the thing I want at least to have clarity, especially on your underground operations. Thank you.
Isaac, you want to take that first, or we shoot the second question?
I think the second can come, and I'll go for both.
Perfect. Karib.
Thank you. Thank you, Isaac, for the nice presentation. I like the model. I like the program that you did to influence the culture and change. So I picked two things during the presentation in terms of the approach that we are using, both the reward and penalties. I like the proactive way that you are managing all the inputs to the team. But I like also the aggressiveness that you are putting to the team to penalize for those who are violating. The 300K penalty for violation of seat belt, the 2.5 million for the HSC rep. Now the key question is, I know it's very challenging to balance the two. Most of the OHS practitioners would agree with me that sometimes we are being perceived as police, just especially when you want to be aggressive to enforce behavioral change. But sometimes we do reward. Unfortunately, the employee don't remember the good part. They always take the police part of us. But we have a lot of also rewarding different safe practices. Now, from your practical experience, I just want to know, how do you create a balance between the two so that as a department or as an industry, you are not being perceived as in one perspective, and you end up achieving what you achieve? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So, thank you for the questions. For actually, currently, from underground mines, we operate in 3 separate areas. We have already initiated this project to link network into the underground. And the motivation behind this project is to ensure that once, currently we don't have internet network underground. So obviously, most of our technology applications for number of the systems also does not work. The other aspect is Anglo Gold Ashanti is among members of ICMM, International Council for Mining and Metal, globally. So under this umbrella of ICMM, they are busy working as part of the initiative of Zero Harm Achievement. They are working with OEM manufacturers to ensure that caterpillars and all other equipment manufacturers, that when they produce this new equipment, they consider and put collision avoidance technology on board, opposed to the current where actually Sandvik have advanced a bit in terms of collision avoidance technology, but Kate as well, they are working hard to ensure that that act is in place. In the past, from underground, underground, if especially when you want to take survey on stops, you are exposing a surveyor to get under unsupported ground, which was not safe. We have now remote bogging, whereby the operator is sitting away in a vehicle, operating a loader, which goes in and out to recover. For people who work with Barrick, Turawaka, they will remember a couple of fatalities on fall of ground which happened. So with the remote bogging, that is eliminated 100%. So there is a number of progress from underground perspective, which is very focused from high-level organization and also working together with the other world peer OEMs, equipment manufacturers to address the matter.
Perfect.
In terms of your response, the key issue which we are falling behind or we are not doing right at first place is engagement. Engagement is very powerful too. If you do it right at the start, you win the battle. Thank you.
Thank you very, very, very much. Hizo kofi zimekaa kidogo sana. Hemu weka mikono yako hapo hivi kwa juu hivi, afu tumpe makofi mengi mtaalamu kutoka Geita. Asante sana Mr. Isaac. Asante sana Messi, umefanya vizuri. Piga makofi mazuri sana kiongozi wangu. Naomba tumpigie pia Madam Messi makofi yake jamani, please. Asante sana. DJ, so before we invite our last speaker for the last program, we would love to hear from WCF, the Workers' Compensation Fund. They got something for us. 2 minutes, over to you. Please, your eyes on the screen.
In the heart of East Africa, Tanzania shines with its rich culture, diversity, and resilience. The strength of its people fuels economic growth, leading the way in